Hall of Famer Phil Mickelson and three other golfers dropped out of a lawsuit on Tuesday, September 27th, which had been filed against the PGA Tour last month over its decision to suspend players who participated on the new LIV golf circuit. Mickelson asked to be dismissed from the lawsuit along with Taylor Gooch, Ian Poulter, and Hudson Swafford. Mickelson and a long list of golfers filed the lawsuit in early August over its decision to suspend players, including Mickelson, for playing on the new LIV golf circuit. The lawsuit also shed light on the status of fan favorite Mickelson, who took a self-imposed break in February when excerpts from an unauthorized biography revealed he had called the Saudis scary, but was willing to look past their human rights record. According to the lawsuits, Mickelson was suspended by the PGA Tour in March for, among other alleged reasons, trying to recruit players to LIV Golf and that his appeal was denied. Mickelson applied for reinstatement in June, the lawsuit says, but that request was denied given his participation in the inaugural LIV event earlier that month. In addition to denying Mickelson's request, the lawsuit said the golfer was forbidden from seeking reinstatement until March 2023, which was then extended until March 2024 after he played the second LIV event. Now, if you remember, there was a time when in football we were talking about a potential Super League, one that had the very best teams in Europe, leaving the rest of them, the likes of Bournemouth, Tottenham, were certainly going to be amongst them, but the likes of Newcastle, who are now big money boys and may in the future, very near future, even be competing in the Champions League, would have been left out of the Super League, and so on and so forth across Europe. Many teams, RB Leipzig, the likes of Rayo Vallecano, would have been left out of this huge opportunity to play in a league that many considered an elitist push to drain money from the rest of football and accrue it at the top. That Super League failed, and perhaps it's for the best. In this instance, though, the question of whether the PGA are trying their best to curb competition to their status as the premier golfing competition, well, that depends on how you look at it. Their stance is that LIV Golf is nothing more than a whitewash by the Saudi government, using money to try to make everyone forget about their human rights abuses. Unlike many other countries in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia have actually come a long way in terms of their relationships on the international stage and how they're perceived in dealing with human rights. But they still have much to do. Women have only recently started being allowed to drive. And yet, journalists are still up for killing by the regime. And if such things are permitted to be continued, even with sports being used as a tool to cover up and revamp the image, well, it begs the question, what else will we allow in the name of sport and money? Perhaps the PGA aren't exactly being neutral. Money is on the line, and a challenge to their status will only make it harder for them to control how much money they offer to players during tournaments. LIV Golf has guaranteed pots. Even if you don't win, even if you come last, you still get a couple $1,000s. maybe PGA needs to compete more. And the Justice Department in the US has already taken a look, or should I say, is currently taking a look as to whether the PGA are breaking any antitrust laws by trying to prevent LIV Golf from recruiting their players. Eventually, that matter will be resolved, and we'll see whether the landscape of golf is forever changed or the good old days for the PGA will return and stay as they always have.